Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of That's a Wrap. My name is Austin Jameson, and joining me, as always, is...
Hey, bros. It's Anthony.
Wow.
What's going on,
I don't
bro?
know what to say to that intro. I did not expect that, but it was intimidating. Based on his introduction, today our main topic that we'll get to in a little bit is going to be Bros. The new Billy Eichner. Did he write it? He didn't direct it. He wrote it.
He co-wrote it with Nicholas Stoller, who also directed it.
Gotcha. But we'll be talking about that. But in the meantime, we just have a couple of trailers to talk about.
Quick movie discussion, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot about that.
That's why we cut the other trailers.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you want to start with the trailers or do you want to start with the other movie?
Let's do the other movie first.
Okay,
so as we all know, Austin's a hater.
I'm not a hater.
And this week on What Does Austin Hate? Because he's a hater. What is it, Austin?
I'm not a hater. I just dislike bad things. So, if you all follow our Instagram,
yes.
That's a Wrap NCR, you might have seen a new experimental thing that we were playing with called That's a Wrap Bites.
Yes.
Our first one was, or Anthony's first one was Barbarian.
Yes.
Did you give it a rating in the bite?
I did.
What'd you give it?
I think I gave it an 8.
Okay, do we want to, right now, commit to doing hundreds? 1 to 100?
Yes.
Okay.
So I give it an 80.
You give it an 80.
By the way, new rating system. Since for the past 30 episodes, we could have never decided. Mm-hmm. We're just going to do out of 100.
Yes.
Because Austin gets what he wants because he's a hater.
I do get what I want. That's, you're bad. Okay. Anyways, let me give you the timeline real quick. The first trailer for Barbarian came out. I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, we saw it together.
Yeah,
we were laughing at it.
Yes. I was like, okay, this looks stupid. It's going to be a gimmicky horror movie.
From a producer of it.
Right. I forgot about that. Where it's like, oh, don't go into the basement. She goes into the basement. It's like, okay, it's going to be one of those movies. I wasn't, like, super impressed by it. I didn't have high expectations for it. And then it comes out. And everybody loses their minds. It's gotten very, very, very good reviews, I'd say.
As it should.
It has like a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty... I doubled or fact-checked me on that. Yeah. I know it's above an 80. So it had really good reviews. Anthony here saw it, gave it an 80 on his That's a Wrap Bite. Another friend of mine saw it and said it was a fantastic horror movie.
92%.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm really excited to watch this movie now. And then, like, a couple weeks go by, and I don't really have any shot or like chance to watch it. And then me and my girlfriend go, and we finally get a time. And I don't know. It was really, really bad. My expectations.
Hater alert, everyone. You just didn't get it.
Explain to me the 45-minute.
Okay, we're going to go into spoilers, everyone.
These will be spoilers.
Yes. It'll probably last, 5 minutes? Because we have a lot of trailers to talk about. We got to go fast.
Yes.
So, if you don't want to know what happens in Barbarian, skip ahead 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
3,
2, 1, start.
Okay. So, explain to me the 45-minute interval in the middle of the... Okay. This... I don't... It's been a while since I saw it, so it's already...
Are you talking
foggy.
about when it cuts to Justin Long's character?
Because I don't care about any of the characters. Their whole... The gimmick that this movie sells itself on, like the hook, is that two people get rented for the same Airbnb. Quirky coincidence, or is the guy a killer?
See, I loved that.
Yeah, I would have loved that if you knew the answer before he was in danger. Because what happens is that you get to that point, and there, believe it or not, there's a mystery secret door in the basement that leads off to the dungeon, that leads off to another dungeon, and it's creepy. Whatever. But the whole thing is that, like, the main character, who is, I believe, Tess, doesn't know if she can...
I think so, yeah.
She can trust... I don't remember his name.
Pennywise.
Keith. Yeah, it was Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he's really awkward, and he's acting awkward, and he's trying to be genuine and nice, but he's awkward.
See,
so
I
it's
like
I
that
don't know
because I was going back and forth with that too.
Exactly.
Even when he goes downstairs, because I'm like, is he just trying to trap her, or is he actually in trouble?
My problem with that is that when he goes downstairs, Tess does not know if he is a good guy or not.
Yeah.
They play a little into them, like getting a small bit of friendship, but the amount of time they spend together, I feel, does not justify at all her going down into this spooky, scary basement as far as she did to risk herself for like what could still be a trap. Because they still play into that feeling of, could Keith be a murderer, like this creepy guy? I think it would have been better executed if they gave you confirmation that Keith was genuine before he disappears into the basement. And like,
I think they did give you that sense when they were acting like such good friends, and like when he did help her out of the basement. Even then, when she went down, she still prepared herself by like propping the door open and everything. So she was still making plans. But I thought this entire movie, like I told you, was about kind of like male entitlement. And how men are barbarians, because
okay,
because
I didn't get the title.
Yeah, it took
it was Barbary Street.
It made
That's
me,
what I thought it was.
Like it took a little thinking out of me. But like at the beginning when Tess is exploring, she looks down and she says, "No way am I doing this."
Exactly.
And she goes back up.
They paint her to be a logical horror character, which is like a new trope
which I thought
in, like
that's
modern horror,
showing how like she has to expect the worst in order to just survive, whereas these men don't care. They're like, "Oh, nothing's gonna happen to me because I'm a big, strong man. I can do whatever." Like Keith, when Tess goes to him and she's like, "We gotta get out of here. I saw something really bad down there, and there's like a basement with weird things. There's like a hidden room." Instead of just believing her like he should, he's like, "Oh no, yeah, I'm gonna go down because I think you're acting a little hysterical here." And when we do get the cut to Justin Long's character, 45 minutes in, I think that's to show also this like male entitlement thing. You're not supposed to like him at all. And then when he goes down there, instead of seeing for how creepy it is, he's like, "Oh hey, I can get some more money out of this because like extra square footage."
Right.
And he sees all the things that should be creepy, and he thinks nothing of it. And then even the monster of the movie,
I think that's weird.
What?
I think it felt unnatural. I think they were doing it for comedy, where it's like this guy is not very. I don't.
Yeah. For me, it was satire, so
many
it
missed
worked.
points.
But like even the monster of the movie is a product of this man who did disgusting things because he was so entitled.
I agree with the themes. I think the storytelling still sucked. No matter what, no matter how you shape it, if you introduce, if you want to play here's 3 competing storylines and how they meet at the end, fine. But you can't give me chapter 1 here is these characters, chapter 2 is these characters, and chapter 3 is these characters, because it doesn't make sense.
See, I thought that was bold and I loved it.
I hated it. I'm a hater. Yeah. I'm not a hater.
You're a hater, Austin. How long have we been talking?
No, 4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up.
If you're tuning back in, we're still talking about it. I'm not done. I can't.
We gotta talk about everything else we have.
You expected me to fit this in an hour or a minute and a half bite? I could never. I don't know how you did. I still haven't watched your.
It was hard. I had to do a few takes, especially since I had to say what this was too.
We should have done an episode about this movie because it would have.
Yeah, we almost were going to.
Welcome back if you tune back in 5 minutes later exactly.
But yeah, that was Barbarian.
I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore. But the movie was really bad. Very disconnected. Very much a mess. I gave it like a 2 stars on Letterboxd. I would have given it in 100 scale. I would give it like 40, like if not lower. It sucked.
Dang. How's it feel to be wrong?
I'm not wrong.
Moving on.
It's my opinion, Anthony.
Your
can't tell me
wrong.
what to do with it.
It's a good movie. Okay, the audience, go see it for yourself.
Yeah, go see it.
Don't let what either of us say sway your opinion.
I feel like everybody went in with low expectations, and that's why they liked it so much.
Yeah, you went in with high expectations.
And then everybody was like, this movie's great. And then I went in, and it was just like trope, stupid, trope. Oh, see, don't go in there.
I thought it was
ridiculous.
Turning tropes on its head. But anyway, let's move on.
Absolutely not. Turning tropes on its head? Really?
Yes, because what I talked about in our little spoiler section.
That's ridiculous. I do not agree with that whatsoever. I think it tried to, and then
I think especially the ending with Justin Long. Because he's like,
who
okay, spoilers
cares?
for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. When he's like, oh, I'm going to be a good guy. And then they're like, no, he's still a bad person. Okay,
I don't care about that guy.
I should have said 10 seconds.
If there was no chance of ever redeeming him. The crimes that he did are not
exactly.
If you want to make
other horror movies would try to redeem him.
No, or that I disagree. I think if you give a character that severe of a backstory, then there is no hope for him, and there never was any hope for him. Every single beat that he's in this movie, it repeats that he is not a good person, and then they try to be like, oh, look, he's gonna... Oh no, he runs away. It's so stupid. I don't care about this character. I don't care about Tess because she's stupid. I don't care about Keith because he's stupid. I don't care about anybody because they're all stupid, and this is a horror movie, and it's not as good, or like it doesn't have depth like I thought it was going to be based on everything everybody said about it. I think it was incredibly disappointing. I think the characters lacked any amount of like logical sense, which is what you want in a horror movie, but this movie presented itself in a way that wanted to be a logical movie, but it was not. You get 25 minutes in, I don't care if you're still listening. I'm really sorry. There's more spoilers. Spoiler warning. If you keep going, if you get 25 minutes into your movie and then you switch characters and that producer guy could have been 2 lines as he walked into the house and went downstairs. It could have been him finishing up a phone call saying, "Oh, I'm still the allegations, blah blah blah." He could have done all that. I'm getting there. I did not need a 15-minute car ride of him on the phone saying the same thing over and over again. That could have been 2 lines. Kill your darling. Don't worry, darling did the same thing. Stop writing stuff. Even if it feels good, it doesn't make sense, and it took way too much time in the movie. I think it was really bad. I think it could have been done way better. That's it. That's my piece on Barbarian.
So our first trailer that we were talking about.
Yeah, what are we talking about today, Anthony?
Yeah. Are we doing the Barney trailer? I think we cut it. No, okay.
We can
what
mention it real quick.
It was kind of funny seeing all the ways they killed Barney.
There's a docuseries going on about the production behind Barney, the friendly, loving dinosaur. It's called I Love You, You Hate Me.
It's probably gonna be like an actual like horrific real story.
Yes,
but the way they
it's just it's a montage of like Barney puppets
Barney
and
deaths.
Like, plushies burning and stuff. It's weird. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen any of these movies. This movie feels like the rest of them.
Are you going to watch the other movies before we review this in 2 weeks?
2 weeks? Probably not.
You only have to watch the original and then the 2 new ones. And they're all like the original is 90 minutes and the other 2 are like an hour 40.
I might. If I can find time, I will be very busy this month, so I probably won't be able to.
I have copies of all of them. You can borrow them.
Okay.
Or you can come over and we'll watch that in Parasite.
I will be struggling for time, but if I'm able to, I will.
Okay.
I'm sure because there's a scene in the trailer of her pulling the mask off. I don't know if that's been done before. Don't tell me if it has been. But she's gonna pull off the mask and it's gonna be like,
Are you sure you don't want to know?
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna be like, oh, it's this person, and I'm gonna be like, wow, or not. I don't know. I don't care. That this movie's not the end. This movie's gonna get a sequel. It's gonna get
a sequel in 20 years.
No, it's not. It's gonna get a sequel in 2 years. It's gonna be like, we said it was the end.
Or at least I'll give it a 5. Like it's gonna be another reboot. It's like, hey, this is the Halloween you didn't know. But let's talk about this trailer. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a horror trailer. Like it was a slasher trailer. There's nothing that caught my eye.
I would be excited for it had Halloween Kills had not been so bad.
Yeah. I would be excited for it if these weren't the same movie over and over again and they just kept making them because people kept seeing them.
The original and the 2018 one were actually really good. Like the original, because it was the original, it was ahead of its time and everything. It was like the first to do like a lot of it. But the 2018 one was still a really good legacy sequel.
Fair enough.
But then Kills was just weird. It was like way too gory.
I never watched it. I worked at a movie theater while it was coming out, and I didn't hear good things about it. I heard it's just I think, I don't know. I'm very petty right now after Barbarian, but it feels like a cash grab almost, where it's like these characters. I think
it is because I think
I don't know their story, but I know they shouldn't be alive. like half of them.
Well, I think David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, who like wanted to do this reboot of Halloween, wanted it to be 2 movies, and Universal was like, no, you gotta make it a trilogy, which is why we got Halloween Kills, and so I think they wanted to be 2018 one and this new one that we're about to get.
What's the name of all of them? Is the 2018 just Halloween?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, look out for a review of it in 2 weeks. But yeah, that was Halloween Ends.
Next up, we have the second biggest trailer to come out, I believe, today.
Blue's Clues?
Black Panther. Why'd you give it away? No.
Sorry.
I might go back there and censor it. For live listeners, you didn't hear that. That's going to be the big reveal for our final trailer. For non-live listeners, you'll just have to wait and see what he said. Okay. But we have Black Panther.
Yes.
The new Black Panther trailer. Yay, Marvel. That was my true feelings about Marvel Cinematic Universe right now.
Since Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Black Widow.
What came out before?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man. And before that was Shang-Chi. Or no, before that was Eternals, then Shang-Chi.
Doctor Strange was definitely the first,
And the writer that is writing Avengers Secret Wars, which
I'll see, I guess. But it looked good. I really
liked the trailer.
I am excited to see Jason Momoa return as Aquaman.
They do say in the trailer their protector is gone, so I wonder, do they kill Namor?
Well, isn't Namor a good guy, or is it Namor or Namor? I don't know.
I don't know, but
for the real G's out there.
I think he is, like, in the comics, T'Challa's arch nemesis.
Oh.
So he might turn good by the end of the movie.
I thought he was a good guy, but that's just me being stupid.
Yeah, it seems like in this movie, Wakanda did, I don't know, I'm just going to call it Atlantis. I don't know what their kingdom's called, but they did Atlantis dirty. And now Namor and them are like coming back after Wakanda like came out to the world like, hey, we're actually this like huge nation.
Yeah, I'm just kind of tired of like Marvel. The ultimate problem with Marvel has always been you get your issues become too big too quickly, and then like one day you're fighting aliens in New York, and the next day you're fighting an island, and the next day you're fighting in space, and the next day like half the universe has been killed, and now the next day you're in the multiverse and every other universe has been killed.
This movie though, it does seem like it is smaller because
it's more grounded, but it's
like the 2 nations, and I believe in Ryan Coogler. I don't have a lot of hope for Marvel right now. I mean, I still like She-Hulk. I'm liking that as it's going.
I'm not seeing any.
But yeah, Marvel, it just feels like they're growing too big too fast. But Ryan Coogler is just a great director. It seems like he really has a handle on this franchise, and especially with this movie. Did he direct the first one? He did, yeah.
Okay.
He directed and wrote it.
Okay.
And he's directing and writing this one.
I think the first Black Panther is okay.
Yeah. What?
It
was so good.
It wasn't like... It is not high up on my list for me. I don't know. It didn't leave a very or it's not a bad impression. It was a good movie objectively, or as far as MCU goes. I think spoiler alert for the first Black Panther, like Black Panther disappearing for the like final quarter of the movie and then felt weird. It was done well. I don't know. It's not my favorite MCU movie. The second one I'll watch because we have to for the show.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. I think this is like kind of the make it or break it for Marvel for me.
Fair enough.
I mean, obviously I'll still watch everything else.
Yeah.
But I'm having high hopes for this. It seems really personal, especially because of Chadwick Boseman's death. I mean, we kind of got confirmation at the end that Shuri is the next Black Panther, which I was hoping for Nakia. But I'm hoping.
I'm currently taking bets with myself to see or to wonder like what will be the first MCU movie that I don't go to the theaters for.
For me, that was the first Iron Man.
Well, that doesn't count. I couldn't go to the theater by myself when that movie came out. But like I don't know. I think
as long as I get free movies, I'll still go see it.
How free are they though? You have to pay for the movie pass. How free?
I guess. But if you see like at 2 movies, it pays for itself.
You wanna name drop the company and let's get a sponsorship from. I'm gonna put another bleep here. No, okay. That was Black Panther, and finally, for all of our non-live listeners,
yes,
the biggest trailer of today, which genuinely had my jaw drop the entire time.
Raymond and Ray. Oh.
No, you ruin everything. I hate it here. Stop. Blue's Clues.
By the way, it was a good trailer. We didn't talk about it. It was a good trailer.
Blue's
Raymond
Clues.
and Ray. Yeah.
You remember is cool. Ewan McGregor's good. So is Ethan Hawke.
Hawke-sans. Let's go.
I'll let the listeners try and decode what that means.
You know, like Matthew McConaughey, the McConaissance. Anyway,
let's talk about Blue's Clues.
I don't want to talk about Blue's Clues. I want to talk about Steve.
I want to talk about everybody because I feel like Steve would not be happy if we just talked about Steve. Steve would want equal representation of everybody in the cast. It's literally the Avengers Endgame of Blue's Clues.
Of Gen Z.
I'm so excited. It genuinely looks good.
Yeah. I think they're bringing the other guy back too, who came in after Steve.
Yeah. I'm really excited for the opportunities that this lets out.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
You have so we already got a small blue dog in New York.
No.
It's only natural that in the same universe we could have a big red dog in New York.
Are they going to try to shoot Blue in the head too?
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. It comes out October 21st, I think. That could be totally wrong.
Yeah, look out for our review. No.
Wait. It comes out November 18th.
Oh, okay.
If a undesirable movie currently lands on that, we will be reviewing Blue's Clues.
That's Black Panther.
That is.
we're not substituting.
You can't tell me what to do.
No,
this trailer was amazing. The whole gang gets lost in New York because he loses his notebook. And he has to go find it, and then he runs into like Steve, which like that's
Black Panther's the week before. So
What's after?
Right now we have 3 movies that we could potentially do. We have not decided.
We have 4. We have 4 movies. You know what I'm voting for?
I'm going to vote for the Christmas Story animated sequel.
That's stupid. What's the next one?
The Menu.
I've never heard of it. Next.
No, you've seen the trailer.
No, I haven't. Next.
She Said. I
don't know what any of those are. We're watching Blue's Clues. We're watching Blue's Clues because this trailer was amazing.
Okay, pencil it in.
It's so many colors. There's so many songs.
So many colors. Every year we should have a review of an animated dog in the real world.
In New York.
Yes, that has a unique size and has a
yeah. Why are you laughing?
Are you not taking this seriously?
Are you not taking this seriously? Really? Wow. Anthony, what a hater. Everybody, Anthony hates. Everybody, okay. Anyways, I don't think Blue's Clues would want any hate.
Should we move on to our main topic?
No, we're not. Or I guess. Blue's Clues is coming out. It's on Paramount, I think. That or Peacock. Yeah. If it's on Paramount, I have that, so that's amazing. Yes, I do.
I signed up for a free trial. And it expired, but I can still use it. I don't know what's going on with it. But
are you getting charged?
No, I'm not getting charged.
Okay. But please, everybody, support your local Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
And Steve. Oh my gosh.
Steve.
Buy Blue's Clues bonds. That's all I got for Blue's Clues. That's the best movie probably ever, next to Clifford. It's a very close battle. We're gonna have to watch the movie.
You gave Clifford a 4.
I did not give Clifford a 4.
Yes, you did.
Bring up the proof. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I will bring it up right now.
Let's go ahead and transition.
You cried
peacefully.
Twice during it.
I did, because it was beautiful and a work of art.
Anyways,
bros.
Bro. Let's talk about bros. Bro. What did you think of this movie,
I
Pro?
liked it. I thought it was really, really good, actually.
I didn't like it. I loved it.
Okay. I was like, what the heck? It definitely has its flaws in a lot of places, but it's a very, very good rom-com. I think it... I'll get into my main complaints later, but I think it had a really good balance of, like, it's a will they, won't they, but it was done... Like, and I think it was really good. I like Billy Eichner. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, because the last time we talked about him, I believe this was a conversation was with you. You know him as Billy Eichner, the guy like who yells. Or it's like Parks and Rec, Billy on the Street, and whatnot. So I'm curious how you thought about that transitioning into Bros as a main character role.
I guess I'll go into that part.
Go for it
right now. Like I said last week, I was a little worried about how he will, like, be as a leading man and having to be, like, carry the weight of this movie, especially because all I've ever seen him in is supporting roles or in roles where he plays an exaggerated version of himself that is just really loud and gets in people's faces. You can't have that for 2 hours.
Right.
And I was dumbfounded by his like role in here. He is such a good leading man here. Like, he is the anchor for this movie. Him and I forget the character name, but Luke McFarland, who plays the love interest in the movie, is it Aaron?
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. It's Bobby and Aaron. They were both so good. Like you said, there are some weird parts, but I think they like this movie. For one, it's super funny. Yeah, I was laughing out loud in every single scene. Like, there was at least one joke in every scene that had me laughing out loud. But where was I going?
No, you're good. Billy Eichner is a leading man.
Yeah, he's so good. He weighs the movie, not weighs it down, but like he is the anchor for this movie. He really reaches some like emotional places. You can tell this movie is a very personal movie for Billy Eichner. Like, it almost feels like he was writing himself in this movie. I thought it was really good. I really liked it. There's like, they really do a good job of avoiding rom-com tropes, or even if they do it, aside from the very end, which we'll talk about, they do it maturely. Which I guess is a spoiler, so I'll save it. Okay. But like there's one specific scene I'm thinking about where it's a rom-com trope that's in every romance movie, every buddy movie too. But how they handle it is just so mature for it. It's not like this big misunderstanding or anything. Okay, I'm talking about when they break up and they get back together and stuff like that. How they break up, it's very mature. It's not like, oh, you said this, but he didn't really say it. It's like, no, they had actual problems and they had to go their own separate ways.
No, I totally agree. I think I do not watch rom-coms very often. I do not find myself watching the Hallmark channel, which is this universe's parody of Hallmark.
Okay, you know how a lot of movies are like love letters to stuff? Like, a movie could be a love letter to New York. This movie is a hate letter to the Hallmark channel. It is. I loved it. Because I thought they were actually saying Hallmark at first. And then I found out they didn't. But I was laughing so much because my mom watches those movies all the time. Yeah. And so they nailed it. And it was just so funny.
Yeah. I very much liked the vibe of it, because this movie did a very good job of knowing when to take itself seriously, and then also when to play into the jokes. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way real quick. My biggest complaint with the movie was the choice of, or the editing of takes during dialogue sequences. There is a very large occurrence of character A says something, cut to other side of the 180 for the other character, and now they're in a different spot. You can tell that they relied very heavily on like taking different takes and trying to shove them together. Yeah,
like improv
and then
stuff.
People popping up in different places, or their heads already moved over here. There's a lot of disconnected movement. I did notice
some of that.
That, and I think they didn't use it very much for the last like half of the movie, but for the first half they rely heavily as well on texting conversations.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, here's a character on a couch with his phone. Here's another character on a couch with his phone. And that takes up a lot of it. And I don't think it's super, like, it's a way of having a conversation, but you take out, like, that they use it mostly for comedy, and they have to sacrifice any of the real drama that comes with a conversation.
I would disagree with that, just because, like you said, it is in the first half. So... I guess for those of you who don't know the plot of this movie, it's about a podcaster named Bobby. I forget his last name, but played by Billy Eichner, who is in the process of trying to open this LGBTQ plus history museum. Yeah, and along the way, he meets this guy named Aaron, who like comes off as a meathead, stuff like that, and neither of them want to be in a relationship, let alone a committed relationship. They just put up a wall and they don't want to be in a relationship, and so it's about their journey of getting together. Yeah. Oh man, what was I?
You're doing the
the texting. The texting. So at the very beginning, the text conversations mainly consist of Bobby like reaching out to like his grinder matches, and I thought that was just hysterical, especially the one who was like send butt pic, and so it just goes through a huge process. But even when he starts texting Aaron, for me, I felt like there is a distance between them, and so they were showing that, but also how they were texting, it was so in sync that shows like, okay, they still have a connection too.
I feel like I do agree. I think it was used well in terms of disconnected. I think it was used too much.
Yeah.
I did like... God, what was I going to say? Oh my goodness.
Texting
Aaron texting Bobby, Aaron... Oh, during those scenes where it's like somebody, like, or it's one of them looking at their phone and then the voiceover of them reading the texts, I feel like they were done in a way that I don't know what went on in terms of like the direction of the of that shoot, but it depending on the scene, it felt like the facial expressions that the actors were making did not match what was being said. It is a very menial issue, but like that. I didn't have very like many significant issues with this movie at all.
I would say my main issue with this would be the very beginning, because for me, in my notes I have like it was moving very quickly, just because it had a lot to get through, so the audience knows what's going on before they go into the main story. But also it felt like the first season of a sitcom where they are trying out all sorts of jokes to see what fits. Like, there was one joke that made me worried because it's what I call, like, the Family Guy method, where they just cut through, like, an imaginary sequence of, oh, haha, wouldn't this be funny if blank and blank? Yeah. And so they did that once, and that had me a little worried, but they never cut back to that again. But I guess at the nightclub scene, when he meets Aaron, that's when it starts to get its groove, and that's when it starts to shine.
Yeah. I agree. I think the beginning of the movie had a very like meta Spider-Verse feel. I like the same beginning of Spider-Verse where it was like, here's a PowerPoint almost instead of any footage. I still think it was interesting though, in using him as a podcaster to exposit story was clever enough. I think there have been worse ways of introducing character backstory.
Oh yeah, I agree. There was so much exposition there.
It was definitely a very quick dump, which I think in the end benefited them. Yeah. Because if you spent like any more time, then it would have been like, where's the actual rom-com? If you spent any less time, it'd be like, why do I care about Bobby? Yeah. So I think they did okay with that. I don't want to call it cheap because I'm a college student who doesn't know anything.
And we are both podcasting right now.
Yes, we are. I didn't even see that connection. Wow, that shows how intelligent I am in making this comparison. But I don't know. It was okay. I think the beginning was there's a very clear like roller coaster of like how quickly the movie is paced. The beginning, you get like it's one of those roller coasters that immediately shoots you off at like 80 miles per hour, and then it'll like chill for probably like 15-20 minutes. I think the pacing of the movie was really good until the last 30 minutes, where like a lot of things happen like rapid fire really quickly.
I was still enjoying myself with that, so it didn't really bother me.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one big thing that bothered me with the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm very
because
curious
it's the
what
ending,
that is, but we're gonna have to wait. Okay.
just because it felt like
Well,
it was leaning in
okay.
to like the tropes of it, and so it did win me over at the end, but it just felt like wrong place, wrong time. Like, don't do this here.
Okay. That's fair. That I understand that. That'll be for a more in-depth look at what we were saying there. You'll have to check out our spoilers section at the end of the episode. Watch the movie first, unless you don't want to. By the way,
this movie only made like $4.8 million this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. Go see the movie because this movie is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, every single scene I was laughing in.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for the people who was also in the theater because I was laughing loudly.
There's my theater is mostly empty. There was 3 groups of people, including me.
There were, I think, 4 groups of people for me.
There was one old guy chilling alone in the C row. I didn't make a peep. And then there was 2 people in 2 rows ahead of me who were vibing.
Yeah.
And like from what I've heard, like not just from literally my own screening, but this movie has gotten a lot of really good reception.
Yeah. Because it's raunchy, but it's also like sweet, and it has good like references to like other media and stuff, which is just so funny. But it also, it's just another like a sweet movie about these 2 people falling in love, and it shows just how messy relationships can be, and how it's not just sunshine and roses, and not only that, like it's a movie with a message too about like LGBTQ like history. And like what it means to be a gay person living in society today.
Right.
And I don't know, I just thought they did a really good job covering every corner.
I agree. I think the representation was incredibly well done.
Yeah.
I was prepared to come in today and be like, so this movie like isn't for my demographic, but I think it specifically is. I think it tries to be incredibly open in that, because it's not like it's a gay relationship, but it is
a relationship.
It's a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think they present that in a very well done way. Obviously, you have the like LGBTQ plus museum, which is the focus of Bobby's story, but in the end, it's you really just have to watch the movie yourself.
You have them like meeting each other and like slowly warming up to each other, telling their like their hopes and dreams. The like meet the parents.
You have both of the characters like who they're both gay, but they like have their own very unique like perspectives on it.
Or, like them being gay doesn't define their whole personality. Like they're still people.
I think the most interesting part for me in that discussion is getting to see like the like Aaron's side, where he came from a much smaller town and his family is like open to it, but they're not like very outspoken.
Yeah.
And then you have Bobby, who is very confident, fills up a room, and seeing their personalities mixed together, I think they did like just a really, really good job of it.
Yeah. Speaking of confidence, there's like the one scene on the beach.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Bobby talks about confidence. That like you said, it was phenomenal. Like Billy Eichner brings it in this movie. He like it's such a good performance, along with Luke McFarland. They're both so good.
I fully agree. Let me.
And did you know that like almost all the cast members are actually like in the LGBTQ community?
Yeah, I found myself like looking that up during the like as like a new guest star appeared. I'd be like, oh
yeah,
no, that's awesome.
I guess the only ones were the cameos that we see, which we're not gonna spoil.
No, we're not.
But it was so funny.
My girlfriend sent me, because I don't know where, she probably just saw it somewhere, but she was like, do you want a trigger warning for a cameo? And I was like, I don't think so. I'm very glad I didn't, because I would have been worried about this person appearing the entire movie.
Yeah.
But yes, there are some scary cameos in the movie. They're well done, and with the cameo we're talking about here, it was done in a way that the movie is making fun of the person who cameos.
It's not like other movies where they rely on cameos.
Yeah.
These came in at the very end, and it was just callbacks to other jokes in the movie, and it worked so well.
Yes. I think they did a very good job of incorporating other media. I don't want to steal or spoil a joke from the movie, but it's Bobby.
It's hard.
Yes, it is. Bobby is explaining to a group of people that like there is a larger percentage of youth in America now that are openly LGBTQ+.
Yeah.
And he was he's 40 or so in the in the movie. Bobby is. And so he was like, when I was a kid, we had AIDS. They have Glee.
I remember that
and
joke,
I thought that was hilarious. And then in the same room with him is Coach Beast from Glee.
Yeah.
So it was a good time. It was like...
And when they bring up Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were very self-aware of everything involved. I think
it was very self-aware, too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was a good time.
Yeah, and... Luke McFarlane and Billy Eichner also have just a really good chemistry in this movie. Like you can tell, like you believe them as a couple.
Yeah.
And with that, like they help each other grow on their own and together as a couple. They both have their problems that like pull them back from the relationship that they still work towards together. Like Billy, like is just or Bobby,
yes,
is so like insecure about himself because he's always saying, "You don't find me attractive, please just say it." And that was just so heartbreaking every time he brought it up. But like, it was like, no, like they're an actual couple who like love each other, and you can just it shows on the screen, and it's just really great.
I will say one of the biggest flaws of this movie, and I can't guarantee it because I didn't get a good angle on it, but I'm pretty sure it fails the controller test. There is a scene where two men are playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And the controllers were not on. And they
that
also
always bugs me.
They had no idea what they were doing. So
yeah, when I play Mortal Kombat, I'm not a button smasher, but my hands are moving really quick because I'm trying to get the combos, and they're just like calmly pushing a few buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I feel like they were aware of that, like of that effect in movies of like, oh, I'm bouncing around, I'm doing that, and it's like, okay, let's chill, let's just chill on the couch, and then they were both like just kind of sitting back, which is how people play, but also the controllers weren't on, which is my main complaint. How hard is it? How hard is it to turn on the controllers, man? That's it. That's probably my biggest complaint with the movie.
Yeah, my biggest complaint is just the beginning.
Do you know the Rotten Tomatoes score?
I don't.
Okay, I think I do. So let me look it up. Continue with just the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I already said this, but just how fast it moves and like the variety of jokes, like they all didn't hit. Just me, like personally.
Yeah.
But then, as we got on, almost every joke hit for me, and it was just outstanding how funny it was. It just reminded me of those like 2000s raunchy comedies, which shouldn't surprise me because Judd Apatow did produce this.
Gotcha.
This is a 2-hour movie. What's your thoughts on that, Austin?
I don't have a problem with long movies if they're good. If you're gonna make me sit through a 2.5-hour movie, make it interesting. Don't fill up the space for no reason.
One point, I think around the 90-minute mark, I was like, oh, we still have half an hour to go.
Exactly. That one of my notes is the pacing, or like the last quarter of the movie is noticeably different. Like it feels like its whole own chapter. Like you could almost find the point where it changes.
I agree, but I still really like it.
I agree. I think it was still done well, but it's a very noticeable change in pace.
I guess we can talk about that in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
But before we get into that,
what am my score? Or do you want to do Rotten Tomatoes? Do you want because we got to do scores?
Let's do scores then Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. I gave this movie on I always start with Letterboxd because that's how I
just give your score. Just give your score.
I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Really pretty good.
Yeah.
Not like it's a rom-com, and I'm not like a by default huge fan of rom-coms, but I think it did a very good job presenting itself as it did.
Yeah.
on a 100 scale, we should give that a name so we can just be like on the that's a wrap scale. Like we need to figure out our own tomato meter.
You want to know a secret?
Huh.
When we were first starting the show, I was thinking about ratings, and I thought about, we both work at a movie theater. What if we gave it in like how we would order like the concessions for this movie? Like, this movie's a large popcorn with extra butter. Like,
this movie is a small with 3 layers. This
it sure packs a lot.
yeah, this movie I'd buy a blue icy too.
Yeah.
No, it's
and just up for the audience to interpret what that means. I hate blue icy.
I love blue icy. You're a hater. You're a hater, Anthony.
No, I love blue icy.
You hate stuff. You're a hater. How dare you have an opinion?
Hater.
How dare you have an opinion? No, I would give this movie. I'd probably give it a flat 90.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I'm right there with
solid.
you. I would give it a 92.
Yeah,
Maybe even like a little higher, like a 93 or something. But
Okay.
I love this movie.
Anthony.
Yeah.
What is the tomato meter of Bros?
I'm gonna go 93. Yeah.
93?
Yeah.
Okay.
About what I would give it. I think that's good.
Give me the audience score.
I think it's gonna be less.
Okay.
Or actually, no. If very few people saw it, I think it's gonna be fans who actually did want to go see it. So you know what? I was gonna say maybe in the 70s, but because of that, I'm gonna say 90, 98. Because Woman King was really high.
Yeah. Did you see? I don't know if you sent me this or I just saw it somewhere. It could have been a clickbait article that like the Woman King reviews on Rotten Tomatoes were being influenced.
No, I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either, but I saw it on a clickbait article, so it's gotta be real.
Just so you know, guys, critics aren't paid.
No, yeah, critics are Rotten Tomatoes, the website. So I don't know. Take everything with a grain of salt, and don't have an opinion until like you.
Yeah. Research your critics, see if you agree with their opinions or if they give insightful reviews, and then go from there. That's what I do. Like us.
So you said tomato meter 93.
Yes.
Audience score 98.
Yes.
The tomato meter is 91%.
Ooh,
very, very close.
Okay.
Just 2% off.
Yeah.
And then the audience score, you said 98.
What was the consensus?
The critic consensus. Bros marks a step forward in rom-com representation. And just as importantly, it's a whole bunch of fun to watch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The audience score. That was with 130 reviews, by the way. Nobody's seen this movie. It's a crime.
It is a crime.
250,
Go watch this.
250 plus verified ratings on audience score. You said 98?
Yes.
Your original guess was going to be like 70s, right?
Yeah, it's probably like 76 if I...
You were right to guess higher. It's 92.
Ooh, okay.
It is right there. 91 and 92 for the reviews.
Wow.
So it's not often you get audience and critics agreeing on
that
something.
close, too.
But
it's because this movie is so great.
Yeah.
Everyone should go see it.
It was refreshing to see like just a good movie finally.
I thought about seeing it again before our review. I didn't have time to, but this is something I do want to go see again.
Definitely didn't see it last night at the last showing of Real. So yeah, I don't procrastinate on stuff.
No, you don't.
I take this very seriously.
I was worried about you when we decided to move to Mondays instead of Wednesdays.
Yeah.
There's so many times you're like, I just saw it yesterday.
We're good. I am professional in everything that I do.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for the non-spoiler stuff. We're probably going to go into spoilers soon.
Yeah.
Thank you all who wish to leave very much for watching or listening. I mean, let's go ahead and get ready for spoilers.
Yeah. Come back. Go watch the movie and come back because it's so good.
Next week.
The movie of the year.
Literally movie of the year. Except for Blue's Clues is coming out.
No.
I don't know what to do anymore.
I don't know. I think this is the movie of the year.
I don't know, though.
And, aside from our Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Lyle Crocodile. Words can't express my hype. We got okay. Red, Clifford. Blue, Blue's Clues. Green, the Lyle.
But crocodiles are supposed to be green.
What do you mean? He's
like we should have like a purple crocodile then. Because dogs aren't supposed to be red and blue. Yeah.
This guy he walks and talks.
Okay, he does.
That's not what crocodiles look like.
But Clifford and Blue don't.
Blues.
He doesn't talk. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, hey, Steve, let's solve one of my clues.
Okay. Anyways, Lyle Crocodile next week. Join us. It'll be a good episode. Also, please go see it because it's Lyle Crocodile. And if you're not seeing it, then what are you doing?
Of course. It's Shawn Mendes as a crocodile singing.
Shawn Mendes is Lyle?
Am I getting it wrong?
No, I just didn't. That sounds right, actually.
I think it is. I remember when we first talked about it, I said Charlie Puth.
Well,
but then the trailer said Shawn Mendes.
Has he acted before?
No.
Yeah, all right. Well, there goes that excitement.
Javier Bardem as Lyle's human dad, who's a magician.
I just want Clifford back. Anyways, let's go ahead and start spoilers real quick. Just to there's really not too much to say besides the end. So let's go ahead and do spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So
I liked it. I liked the song.
For me, it was you were at the grand opening of your museum.
He talked about it with everybody. They had it planned.
There's people who you're trying to impress and everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know if now's the time.
What better to impress everybody than with a love song? I don't know.
I know. But it also kind of feels like the cliche airport run where you're in front of everyone's like, hey,
I didn't expect
I love you.
Billy Eichner to be able to sing like that.
He had a good voice.
It was a good song.
But let me just say, those were my feelings at first. It won me over. Mm-hmm. Especially just seeing all the characters in it and the flashbacks to their... Did they have flashbacks to the relationship? I think they did. Or am I thinking of another
during
movie?
The song?
Yeah. I think they did, but I might be
they did. They definitely did. Because they had the kiss on the riverside.
And the breakup.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was just it won me over. It reminded me a lot of the Schitt's Creek.
I've not seen that.
You haven't seen Schitt's Creek?
No.
You have to watch Schitt's Creek.
I'm
not going to say anything else because I almost spoiled it for you.
I have to watch Top Gun Maverick, apparently.
Watch Schitt's Creek first because it's better.
Isn't that a show?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
The first season is good, but it's not as good like a lot of shows. But yeah. The scene I was talking about that shows a lot of maturity is when they were already broken up. Mm-hmm. But the next day, Billy goes to the club, or Bobby, or I guess they weren't completely broken up yet. I forget. But Aaron wants to get back together, but Bobby's like, no, I can't trust you anymore, and I need to work on myself. I thought that was just so mature for a rom-com to do. How it's not like, oh, I saw you with my best friend, even though Aaron was with the best friend because he was planning a big surprise party for Bobby, or trying to find a ring to propose with. It's no, it's an actual thing. It's not a weird misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. I like the ending of the almost proposal.
Yeah.
And, the entire time I was like, okay, he's not proposing, but then it's 3 months, and then
we'll reassess.
Yeah, reassess, and then Ben Stiller just popping up.
Yeah, I didn't expect Ben Stiller. I didn't know till the end that it was Amy Schumer.
Oh, you didn't notice at first?
No, because of the entire movie, I was like, "Who's the?" I didn't get the trigger warning. I said, "Don't tell me."
Oh, okay.
And so the entire time, I was like, "Who is it?" And I thought for a little bit, I was like, "Is it Coach Beast?" Because they're from Glee, who's also amazing, by the way, and probably one of the better.
I love all the friends in this.
The lesbians dispersed. That line was really, really good. All of them were great, but. I think it was... Where did this start? What was I talking about?
By the way...
Why am I just thinking about Glee now?
I'm just going to go on a tangent. That scene where Bobby takes the steroids.
Yeah.
He's like, I have roid rage. He's going off.
Yeah.
And he goes to the gym, and that scene's completely different in the trailer. But then he's like, hey, bro. And the guy's like, get out.
Yeah.
Wait, you like Barbra Streisand?
It's all really, really funny, and well done. I think if you're still listening, you should stop and then go watch the movie.
Yeah, because it's so good.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Are there any other jokes you like?
I want to talk more about Barbarian.
Yeah. What do you think about the chocolate?
Oh, the tiny little chocolates. I thought it was awesome.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's following his dream.
I agree.
What do you think about the mom at the end with Ben Stiller? Do you forget?
Oh.
It's when he's
I don't know how I feel about
4.
that. Right. I don't know how I feel about that, but it was okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really like the dinner scene with the parents.
Yeah.
I thought it was just really good. That entire sequence.
Yeah.
Because the moment Aaron said, "Don't be yourself,"
Yeah.
I dropped my jaw. I was like, "You don't do that. You don't do that."
Right. I think they went about that whole thing really well with like him, because they don't acknowledge it in that point, but obviously as the audience, that is a big enough red flag where you, like the audience is like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're like, or Bobby says, "You think I don't know what that means," which then leads to the beach scene, which is again just phenomenal.
Oh, the beach scene was before.
That was the confidence was before the dinner.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, because they broke up because of the dinner. But the beach scene comes before because they were trying to score the $5 million and it was still in the summer.
Okay, gotcha. I forgot about that, or I just messed that up.
Yeah. By the way, what comes before the beach scene when they're trying to get the investor, who is Bowen Yang, by the way, when he goes outside and fights with the guy about the bush, and he's like, "You see, are you going to Pride? Yeah. Are you? Yeah, of course. Okay, see you then."
That was. There's a very, very good sense of humor in this movie. I don't know. We could sit here and name off the jokes forever.
All the jokes. Yeah, because all the jokes hit so well. But yeah, I loved it. There's one more trope. Oh yeah, with Josh. Like they could have done, Aaron is gonna just be so in love with Josh that like it's gonna jeopardize the relationship.
Right.
And they like flirt with that a little bit, but they don't fall into that well. Like after Aaron and Bobby have that talk, Aaron's like, "Okay, like I'm not gonna do anything with Josh anymore," and that's just so mature for a rom-com. It subverts the trope, which is just makes it so much better. I love this movie. It's in my top 10 right now.
It's a very realistic relationship, and I think they did that very well, especially for a rom-com that usually sensationalizes stuff.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't have anything else.
I'm good.
Please go see this movie.
This was a really good one. Next week we have
Lyle
Crocodile.
Yeah. You can follow us on That's a Wrap NCR.
Yes. Coming up in November,
Instagram.
we have Blue's Clues. Just kind of putting that in your mind
going
now.
To review
yes,
it?
we're going to review Blue's Clues.
It's going to be like a 50-minute movie.
Okay, we'll do that and something else.
Okay.
I'm watching Blue's Clues, and I will be talking about it on the show.
Whatever Paramount Plus expires.
That sucks. Figure it out. Blue's Clues would figure it out.
It'll be the one movie I don't watch, but pretend I did.
Commit that crime. Do it. I don't care. I'll be watching it. I'll be vibing.
You have talked about doing that for every episode.
What if I have? What if I didn't see any of Bros or any movie ever?
You're just going off what I said? I
just show up and I'm like, yeah, I loved that part.
Yeah, you're like, I'm really hoping there's a trigger warning because I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, there is.
But yeah, so thank you all very much for listening to another episode of That's a Wrap.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna hopefully continue this for a long time.
Yes. I would love to.
But until next time,
that's a wrap.